Heyo, this is Penta from Bless Online. This time we talk about assassins, the capital war, dominion contracts and more. Heyo, following our recent server consolidation, we can now focus on delivering more regular updates. As you might have seen in our latest announcement, we are currently preparing one of, if not our biggest update yet, the Assassin update, arriving next week. So let's just dive right in. Quite honestly, I'm more of a ranged player myself and don't tend to play melee-based classes that often. But reading the skills of the Assassin, I can definitely see why so many of you can't wait for its release. But let's just start from the beginning. The Assassin has mastered precise attacks from the shadows, just like a Panther. Maybe I should really give them a closer look. Assassins are professionals and the only thing that counts is their mission. They don't care about who their targets are or what they stand for. One way of achieving this is mastering the Mark of Death mechanic. For the Assassin, every starting skill of a chain generates Mark of Death stacks. But since the last skill of a chain uses all stacks at once, you want to be careful in which pattern you use your skills, because you want the most stacks possible. When Mark of Death is stacked to the maximum amount, you can get even stronger effects for any of the stances, so making use of this mechanic, or not, will result in a big difference in effectiveness. Speaking of stances, the Assassin has a versatile kit of them. Since the Assassins mostly attack from behind, they also have one stance for sneaky backstabbing action, fittingly named Assassinate. Here the chain skills revolve around dealing the most damage when attacking from behind. A great combination could be with a Raid stance for closing the gap. Raid concentrates on surprise attacks and increasing the critical hit after a movement skill. Switching from one stance to another mid-fight will give Malevolence as well, the resource you need for your non-stance skills. So you like PvE but you're afraid of stealing aggro because you're so awesome? Say no more, we have the perfect skill for you. Execution time. This handy tool of assassination comes not only with a 100% threat reduction for all your skills in the next 8 seconds, but also gives you an additional 20 acceleration rate and 30 malevolence so you can go rampage on those enemies. You know where stealthy assassins come in extremely handy? In political conflict and fights over territory. So it only makes sense that together with the Assassin class, we are implementing the Dominion contract and the Capital War. Every Saturday in an alternating pattern you will have the opportunity to achieve fame and glory in one of those two great experiences. Guilds will be able to bid during Dominion contract, which, if successful, lets you reign over whole territory. Additionally, it gives you reign points, depending on how much experience as well as dungeon points or combat points were obtained in their own territory. But as the biggest honor, the Dominion contract gives guild leaders the possibility to fight in Capital War. So let's say you are the glorious leader of a big guild and you have achieved many victories. What else is there for you to challenge yourself with? That's right, Capital War delivers exactly that, a worthy challenge. Become the leader of your faction through the Capital War and get a gigantic statue built especially for you, well, and for your comrades. You do so by fighting with your guild in the battle for the statue itself. Only a strong leader who has the loyal support of their guild members can be successful and become the next High Praetor or Protector Marshal, depending on their faction. As we all know, facing other players is already difficult enough on its own, so I can understand that ogres in the battleground are a frightening experience. We still see it as another strategic aspect, using the ogres to your advantage, but we clearly heard you that you don't like your runes being destroyed. So, no more runes being destroyed in the battlegrounds. We are still discussing additional changes to our big hard-hitting friends though, and will announce them as soon as we come to a conclusion. One of my favorite upcoming changes is the reactiveness of the chain skill buttons. We tinkered a bit and succeeded in making the buttons appear on screen when they are ready to be pressed, taking the animation duration of the previous skill into account. These changes and more will come with the Assassin update or soon after. If this deadly gruesome assassin costume, which you already were able to see during the video, is not your style, maybe then you prefer something more bright and fresh, perfect for the hot summer temperatures? Well, for you we will be adding the festival costumes along with the assassin update. And with these joyful images we will finish this video up. I had a blast and I hope you did too. See you in 2 weeks. Have a great time.